Hey gang, Jerry here. Today's video we're going to be doing another project on our C4 Corvette here. We're going to do what's commonly known as the throttle body bypass or the cooler bypass. What on the TPI engine, what they do is they run coolant hose from the intake through the throttle body and then over to the heater core. Well, that heats up your throttle body to 180, 190 degrees temperature of whatever the engine coolant is, and everybody knows that cooler air going into your engine creates more horsepower. So they do this for emissions purposes and for cold weather states if you're going to be running your vehicle during the cold weather, but we're not going to be driving our Corvette in cold weather. So we're going to do this bypass to increase our horsepower, and it should be pretty cool. So if you want to see how we do it, stick around. Okay, so the first step on our project today, we're going to drain our coolant out. So what we'll do is we'll remove our radiator cap here. And then we got that off. We'll raise the vehicle up and we'll open up the petcock and drain the coolant out. That's good. All right, gang, let me show you all the parts that we're going to be installing for our throttle body bypass kit. So first of all, it comes with a hose, and the nice thing about this hose, it has a 90 on it that when it comes out of the throttle body, it'll be a 90, go right across the front of the engine, and it'll tie into our heater core hose. And then it has a 5/8 coupler. It has a couple of 5/8 plugs that will go over the old hose locations, and 3 hose clamps that you're going to need. You could use the old ones, but we're going to replace them with 3 hose clamps. And this kit, I'm going to have this kit available as a complete assembly, and you can check out the link in the description down below where you can pick up this kit. Okay, now let's get started with the install. So the first step in doing this project today, we're going to remove the snorkel and the mass airflow sensor to give us some room to work. Simply pop off these 2 spring clips right here, and then make sure your light doesn't fall down, and loosen up our band clamp. And we can just let that dangle right there. And you can probably still hear our coolant is still draining, but we can go ahead and continue on with this project. Okay, so the first thing for our bypass is we're going to remove this hose right here, and it's held on by a couple of band clamps. Well, so it comes from the intake into the throttle body, and then out of the throttle body into our heater core. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to remove this hose and then run a hose right from the intake to our heater core hose, and then eliminating the throttle body completely. So we'll remove this hose first, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, so we have our front hose disconnected. Again, coming out of the intake, going into the throttle body. So remove that one. Next hose we're going to remove is this one right here. This is the PVC hose. I'll just remove that so get it out of your way so you can see. So we're going to undo this hose clamp and undo this hose right here. That's what we'll do next. All right, now we have this one disconnected. So the next step we're going to do is we'll get our new hose connected to our intake and route it past these fuel lines and these connectors, and route it over here to our heater hose, and we'll splice into our heater hose, completely bypassing the throttle body. We'll do that now. Okay, So what I've done, I've already put my cap on the upper hose, the upper inlet to the throttle bar right here. That's one of the caps supplied in the kit. You can see it right here. Now we're going to connect our hose here and, like I said, run it over to our heater core hose. Now you see the new hose, it comes with a long 90 here. We don't need that much. So what I'm going to do is take my cutters and I'm going to cut some of this off because we don't need that much hose exposing. So take my cutters, cut it off like that, and that should be just about perfect. We can put one of our, it's going to go on this way, so for easy access we'll put it up like this, and then put this on here, like so. And like I said, maybe route it underneath these connectors here. Through here, just like that. Something like that. That looks pretty good. And we're going to be splicing into our heater core hose. Now, I'm not going to cut it way down low to, where I won't be able to get the clamps. I'm going to cut the new hose right about here and cut the heater core hose right about here and then splice it, here, and then I'll be able to tuck it down a little bit more once I get these connected. But we'll go ahead and do that next. Here. Okay. All right. Put hose clamp on. Put our splice in. Put hose clamp. Actually, I'm going to run this underneath this connector here. Like that. Hose clamp. Loosen this one up a little bit. Like that. And then splice. Okay, so we have it. Our splice in, our hose clamps on. Loosen up a little bit. These up in position. Right, that looks good. Tighten these up. Okay, now I can tuck this down a little bit like that, make it look neat. And we have one final plug. This is our plug right here. All right, so we have our cap on our outlet to our throttle body. The cap is on the other side. We got our hose connected. I need to tighten that clamp yet. These are all tightened, and I'll put our PVC hose back on and finish off tightening this clamp here. Now we got our bypass hose in. Next thing to do is we'll fill it up with coolant. Okay, last thing we have to do is put the antifreeze back in. We'll start it up, make sure we top off the antifreeze, and we'll check it for any leaks. We'll do that now. All right, there you have it, gang. Ran it, topped off the coolant. Of course, you always want to top off the coolant while it's running. There is a special filter adapter that I didn't have. I thought I had, but I couldn't find it today. But I'll leave a link in the description down below. It makes it a lot easier for topping off the radiator. So be sure to check the links in the description down below. And I'll have links in the description for everything that you saw today as far as the tools and all the parts that I used in today's video. So like I mentioned, I already ran it, checked it for leaks. Everything looks good. So not too bad. Pretty easy job. So if you do like the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel. Really helps me out, and I really appreciate it tremendously. And always remember, gang, if you put your mind to it, you could do anything. All right, gang, take care and see ya.